they don't even have the products to, they don't have the, they don't have the products yet. So like, why would I ask them to share? But I know I should.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a big roadblock for me. I shy away from it for sure. And I know that that's just hurting me in the long, and then, I mean, them in the long run, because they could already be like that Amy. I don't know why. I think it was just because I felt comfortable with her and I've known her and I worked with her, that I was like, well, you can get friends to do this with you too. I don't know. It was so easy for me to just say that to her, and she didn't even have her products and had 3 friends signed up already. I don't know. She was super easy for me to do that. But anybody else, I'm like, okay, let me know when you get your products. I told you I do that. And I shouldn't, but
wow, you gave me so much to work with. We might not even have to go through the other 3. They might just learn from you. I don't know. We'll see how much we can get through here. Okay. So can you give me the name of the person that you initially started talking about? It sounded like it was a friend of yours, and you said to her, do you know somebody you want to add to the party this week?
Oh, that's just those are just like people like Christy Grable. I've said stuff to her and she's underneath Caitlin. Just like people that are already like sharing, that I'll just be like, hey, like this, people that had already been sharing that only had like 1 or 2 people underneath them. I messaged them like the beginning of the month and said, hey, do you guys, do you have anybody that you're in conversations with, that you want to add to the party? The incentives are really good this month. That's kind of how I feel like with someone that's not really been on the product and have that like belief and rapport with, I don't feel like that I could say that, but maybe I can, but I don't feel like I can. Like, I feel like I have to like make it, like you said, fun.
Well, fun is good. Fun is good. If you can make it
yes.
fun, that's great.
No, I know, but like, yes, I don't know. I just have, I don't know. You talked about this. It's be a big roadblock of mine.
Okay.
And I think eventually if I can get through that roadblock, then I'll do great. But I'm getting better though. I am bringing it up. I just completely shy away from all of it.
Okay. Hold on.
That's why I have 5 million level 1s.
Really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's use Christy Grable as an example. You were able to say to her, you've been in conversation with people. Do you have anybody you'd like to add to this week's event? How did she get started sharing?
So how did that happen? I don't remember. I think I just approached her about it.
And how did you approach her?
Gymnastics in person. I do much better that way.
Okay. What about phone calling people?
I mean, I probably need to. I don't know. I just feel like through and that's a good idea. Like, so through messages, I feel like they don't know if I'm being genuine or not, or if I'm just looking to make it some money. And that's a big thing of mine. Like, I'm afraid people think that I am doing this for money.
And in our coaching, Hannah, in our coaching,
you're fine.
How many times have I said you have to start picking up the phone?
I know, but
I have said it a million times, because that is the difference. The picking up the phone and talking to people makes a really big difference, especially if you're feeling skittish in your heart. In some ways, the picking up the phone is more for you than it is for them, because I actually don't always pick up the phone with my customers because I'm in a cold market. So it would be like somebody messaging me on a Sunday night out of the blue, or if I had started messaging them and was doing follow-ups, but it was like, there's no real solid relationship. I just was talking to him on Facebook, right? And then I'm like, hey, can I call you? Like, I barely know them, so that might be a little creepy feeling for that person. In that
Mhm.
case, I just use voice messenger, but I'm confident enough, and that is the difference. It is the confidence aspect, and I was going to talk to you guys about that tonight. I have a question. I don't know if it's a good enough question, but I'm going to throw it at you guys later. To hopefully get you thinking about your confidence and being able to do this business. So, this is so tough with you, Hannah, because you were able to see Christy Gable in person and you could say, hey, you should really think about sharing. Why is it so difficult for you to transfer that to a voice messenger in Facebook? Wouldn't you say the exact same thing if they were standing in front of you as you're going to say on a Facebook voicemail? You're using your voice.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just easier for me to talk in person, I guess.
Okay. Here's the other
I
thing
just feel like yeah.
Here's the other thing I'm going to recommend to you, and then I'm going to dig into some of this stuff, but I'm going to recommend that you think about getting on video chat on your messenger in Facebook.
Okay.
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 In the middle of a conversation with them, video chat them. Especially if
Okay.
you're in the middle of a conversation, because they're talking to you already. And if you call them, it's likely they're going to pick up. If they don't, they're probably going to message you right back and say, hey, I'm in the middle of a sporting event. I can't really talk on video, blah, blah, blah. Big deal. You can then say, that's okay. I just want to chat with you about something real quick. And I'd rather do it over video. Do you have some time tonight at 7 o'clock? I could, message you then. Okay. Set your appointments.
Okay.
So let's go back to the bladder. We'll start with that one. Her bladder feels like she's 25. And then you say, well, you got this link and you can tell your friends and blah, blah, blah. You didn't finish the story. Where did that go from there?
Well, that happened like this evening. So I'm still in conversation with her. I said that, that I could give her a post and all that. And she said that she was really interested. And so, but then I had to get on here. Okay. So I haven't gone any further with it.
So that's why I wanted to just make sure that you are following through. Once you get into a conversation like that with somebody, it is so important. Every one of these conversations, every time you coach somebody, every time you're talking to a brand new customer and asking them to share, it is super duper duper important to give them X, Y, Z. Go do this, then go do this, then go do this. Make it as absolutely simple for them as humanly possible. If you feel like they're going to be overwhelmed easily, it's literally one step at a time. Hey, I'm going to post this. I'm going to make this post. Do you think in the morning you could give me a shout out and take a selfie with your pink drink? Are you up for that? Boom, one thing. Then we're going to get the comments. And when she tags you in the post, then you can message her and say, hey, by the way, when somebody says, I'd like some information, just go ahead and throw me into a three-way. So you're not even giving her that information until she's already made the post. Then she puts you in a three-way, or you can tell her what to say to introduce you. After the Facebook post is done, then you can reach into, that was awesome. Lots of your friends were interested. I think we should set up a Facebook event for you, or a messenger event tonight. We'll throw all of them into a messenger event. They can learn a little bit more. Like, whatever you want your process to be. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be a Facebook event. You guys can just do three-way chats all day long. You can make a phone call, be your process, however you want to do it. But making sure you're following through with specific orderly activity for them to do.
Okay.
I do want to take a minute and say, you said you felt bad about the bladder. She didn't realize she had a link that she could earn that kind of money. One of the reasons why you get away with not sharing about the business, because you feel bad that people are going to think that you're being pushy, is that they don't know any better. What if your whole team knew that they just had to invite 10 to 20 people to an event, and they would have a chance at $300 to $400. And they found out 3-4 months down the road through whatever means. And they came back to you and said, how come you never told me this?
Yeah. I feel like too, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I didn't realize it at the time, but I'm glad that Annie pushed me to share. But I feel like sometimes when I like, with that one girl that we talked about, that like she won't message me back when I was, like, so now that's made me even more shy about like talking to people because I didn't feel like I did anything like super wrong. And then like the other girl that's in marketing, she's like pushed her subscription back to June. And she's like, oh, well, you can message my people one more time. It won't hurt. And like, she doesn't seem like she's really interested anymore. And it's like, okay, well, I spent a lot of time in three-way chats and following up and stuff. And now, like, where's it going?
You should send me that marketing girls.
And I guess, okay. Well, and to be honest too, and this is dead honest, like, and it's a cop out, but because and it's not a good excuse either, but because I'm full time and so busy, like honestly, it's easier and it's not right, but it's honestly easier for me at this point to sign up level ones than to concentrate on trying to get to people to share in the messenger events and stuff like that. Like that's just being honest. I know that's not how I shouldn't be, and I have to duplicate my team to go places, but I'm just being honest. Like at this point, that's the easiest thing for me to do.
And just let them be on the products and grow your team just off of level ones.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So let me be honest.
But yes.
When you're signing 10 people a month, and I've kind of wishy-washy said this to you before, it really literally blows my mind how you're possibly keeping up with all of that. So I would say flip it to the other way. Instead of saying, well, I don't feel like dealing with everybody's blah, blah, blah excuses and whatever. In my opinion, I would take a look at it and say, what if I slowed down my conversations with my people? Where might I be missing out on the part we talked about this weekend, which is people don't care how much you know unless they know how much you care. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't think, Hannah, I don't know if this is an issue or not, to be honest with you, but this goes along with what you were talking about. They're telling you their victories, and it's easy to lead into the conversation about you should use your link. You were right. That is exactly what I was going to tell you guys to do tonight. But, and this is where the number one place that I feel like people go wrong with these conversations about you should use your link or you should share or you should do this. First of all, don't ever verbalize it like that, because you're telling somebody what to do and you want to turn it around into a question so that they can come up with the answer for themselves to do it themselves versus you should go do this. But, oh, sorry, lost my train of thought. So you're 100% right. Those conversations where you're actually talking to people, this is how I get people to share so easily when I have a cold person. And that's why I shared that conversation that I had with Stephanie Crawford. This was like February she started. She was a cold person. She's a level 2 cold person. I started talking to her. I rolled out belief. I rolled out education. I tapped her into resources. By Thursday night, I had her an event. She signed her first level 1. That first level 1, I went and met them at their house. So again, face-to-face time, right? We're talking one-on-one time, either over a camera, over a phone, in person. And I sat with them for about an hour and talked about product to the new level 1. I told her about the business. She went silver within 48 hours. Both of the girls have been working the business ever since. This level 2, it talks to me pretty regularly. We talked several times today. And that happened because she was willing to interact with me and I interacted with her. And it's going to look different for every person. So you were spot on about that too, Hannah. Some people are going to respond to you. Some people are going to block you. Some people are going to yell at you if you don't respond within 5 minutes of them answering you. I mean, everybody is going to be different, but trying to go to that degree of building belief, asking about them personally, finding out about their needs, being inquisitive about their family life, getting to know them a little bit better. The more you can get to know these people, and it doesn't have to be this long-winded days and days and hours conversation. It can just be a few quick questions. I see you got some kids. Are you a stay-at-home mom? Do you work? That kind of thing is also going to enlighten you in terms of where does the financial piece for Plexus fit the need inside of the life that they already live. And that opens up another conversation too. So whether you're on the product side or the financial side, once you have the information, it is easy to segue into the link. Oh my goodness, that must be really hard for you to work 2 jobs while you're trying to be a mom of 3 kids and you still have the duties of being a wife. And we all know that more of those fall on the woman than they do the men, even if both people are working. She's going to appreciate the compassion that you have, the connection you're creating with her, and then and she'll say whatever back, and then saying back to her, listen, there are some very simple steps that you can take that I would be able to put $300 to $400 in your pocket this month if you let me guide you through. Would it be okay if I shared with you what those steps look like and you can see if it would be you'd be up for giving it a shot? But yes, Hannah, the biggest part of what I wanted to share with you guys tonight is that initial conversation. It is taking the time to really understand the person that you're talking to, even if it's only a 20-minute conversation. I'm not talking about spending a year with somebody. It's just, a 15-20-minute conversation and asking the right questions inside of those conversations about them, always making it about them. What are their needs? What's their situation? Family life? And then you can even say, like if somebody is really unhealthy, they're likely to say, my kids are struggling with weight, my husband, oh, wow, does this run in your family? Like brothers, sisters, mom, dad, oh my God, they'll start telling you their whole family life story, right? That is an open door. Listen, we can get everybody healthy and I can help you use your referral link to get these bonuses this month. Does this resonate with you guys, or are you already doing that and I'm giving you BS that's not going to help you at all? And if so, we can move to something else. But this does seem like when I'm listening to coaching, this seems like here's what I'm hearing. They signed. I told them they have a link, they can make money, and they should think about adding some friends. And it's just boom, boom, boom. This is what I'm hearing anyway, unless somebody is just being quick about telling me it. And they say, well, I can't think of anybody right now. And the conversation's over. It's almost a scenario. It feels like it's a scenario where either because of apprehension, like Hannah is talking about, or because of limited time, it's let me get this question on the table so I can check mark that box as fast as possible and get the hell out of here because I don't like this conversation myself, or I don't have the time to have it. And so chat with me. What part of what I just talked about, does that resonate with any of you guys?
It makes sense.
Well, where are you at with that, Gwen?
I was just running through my head my last sign-on, and I had shared with you that I had, offered her the business, explaining to her the difference between a VIP and a brand ambassador. Remember, she said not right now, which I know that doesn't mean it's off the table. So I didn't go into depth with her about that because I didn't get like an immediate yes, but I will come back at her with her. I'm almost kind of like thinking that to invite her to Thursday's meeting.
Yes, that would be a really good idea.
After her message she sent me today.
Yeah. anytime.
Well, she's like,
So do you guys have any conversations like what I just explained to you guys? Like, is this something, you mentioned you have high blood pressure. Is this something that runs in your family? Or do you come from a family that's really healthy? Do you guys ask questions like that?
I do, just because I'm
A nurse.
used to doing that, and yes. But I also think too, and we talked about this, and been doing better about it, but if I don't know them, then I have to like, it's easier for me, obviously, I already said that, like, just to, it's, I don't know. It makes me sound like a bad person, but yeah, if I don't know them, it's harder for me. Like, I'm not as thorough, probably, as I should be.
I ask more questions about them versus their family.
Which is
I do
good.
too.
That's fine.
I have
Even asking,
medication and health goals is where I usually
It's
start.
never dawned on me to bring the family into the conversation, but it makes sense.
either way, it really works. What I'm trying to share with you guys is bridging the conversation from the question to an open door about inviting them. But some of the things that I would steer clear away from is like you were talking about comparing the business to the difference between the business and a brand ambassador and a VIP customer. And it's okay to mention the link. It's okay to mention how much money they could make. I wouldn't necessarily make that front and center all the time. You kind of have to feel some people out on this. I generally generalized that kind of thing. You can either get a product credit or go for cash bonus. I leave it really vague like that, because if you start talking too much about numbers or titles, brand ambassador versus VIP, you have a link, you share your link with your friends. The company will give you cash for sharing your link. Language like that, too much of that is sprinkled into the conversation is going to sound like you're setting them up to be a brand ambassador for being on your team as an active ambassador. When you're talking to somebody who is not coming to you for the business, those things can be really, people can be very, very sensitive to that. So it's about having that initial conversation and asking lots of questions, building belief while you're talking to them, and then transitioning it to utilizing what you've already talked about to either say, the extended family, like I had offered you as one example, but it's also to say, hey, I'm sure you've seen that a ton of people are all over the place, are constantly looking for energy and weight loss, and that seems to be the thing. Would you be interested in sharing with your friends? Because if you do, that's what the referral link is for. And I can drop the information for them, all of that type of thing in a messenger chat. And I wrote all of that very nicely in that document. You guys can memorize it or tweak it so that it comes out very naturally in the flow of your conversation. I'm going to come to the point where I want to talk about mindset with regard to what Hannah was saying. But I still don't feel confident that you guys, when I talk to you guys about what I just said, how does that compare to what you're currently doing? I already heard from Gwen, and she is comparing VIP to the difference between the business. And for you, Gwen, I would say also go check out that document. Have you looked at the document about onboarding a new ambassador? Onboarding. Can't remember what it's called.
Is it located in the guide section of the old team page?
It's on the new page under topics, under process.
Okay, I haven't seen the new one. I've seen an old onboarding.
Onboarding
But I
dash
think-
system. That's what it is. Onboarding dash system. I dropped it in the leader chat probably a month ago or so, but it's on the new team page.
I think the reason I didn't get a no was because I didn't pressure her and I didn't talk money. She just said not right now. But I felt confident in her not right now, meaning it was going to be a yes. But I
Yes,
didn't go
absolutely.
in depth. I didn't go in real in depth detail.
And what do you guys have set up for a process once they say no like that? Do you keep track of that in your conversations of when to offer them to share again?
No, I would say no.
I just keep them in my follow-up. And then
Yeah.
if they have, if I check in on products and how things are going, and then depending on how that conversation rolls out, whether to bring it up again. If they're having successes or not having successes, we have to work through different things. Then I'll base it off of that, how to proceed.
You know what we need to do? We need to create a timeline on what we're talking about right now. So somebody says no to the initial, you have a link, you can share, blah, blah, blah. Great. 1 week later or 4 days later, whatever it is, hey, and we can come up with some much better verbiage. I'm not gonna be able to come up with it on the fly, but there's a video I always have my brand new VIP customers take a look at. This is always something that you can use at this is a benefit of being a VIP customer, and you can take advantage of it anytime you wish. And then showing them we have a video, it's on the team page right now, that is very, very, very mild. It is like so super well done about the benefits of being at Plexus. And one of them is using your referral link to people. Okay. Then a week later, you could do a share a Plexus because of Plexus story. And you could even say something like, many of your friends would love their own share your Plexus story, stuff like that. Would that help you if you had a time? It's basically a drip campaign to keep them continuously coming back to the idea of sharing. Would that help you?
It's a good plan.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we need.
I think they stick in my head because I'm like, well, that could be my potential runner or rock star that I'm looking for. So I don't forget about them unless it's like a flat out no.
How do you guys feel you are in terms of this whole idea? Are you clear or totally confused when I'm talking about creating the conversation and then moving into, that's awesome. I can't wait for you to get started on your products. You are going to absolutely love these. And the best way to do this is with friends. Hey, let me tell you about your referral link. This is something that came with you when you got signed up. You would have selected that during the sign up process. Do you remember choosing your website link? Yes, they're going to say, right? Awesome. I always give my new VIP customers the opportunity to use that referral link by sharing with friends and inviting them to a quick 15-minute messenger event. We have them every single Thursday night, and I drop 15 minutes of information. If they're interested in doing this with you, which is so much awesomeness because you get an accountability partner, they can use your referral link and you will be able to earn either free product. So this would be great for your next month's order, or cash back. The way that I say that, does that resonate with you? Is that what you're saying?
It
resonates.
Yes.
I don't use those words. Say
no.
Word for word.
Like, I wish I could just sound like you and just right in. Like,
okay.
And I know you've been doing this for a long time, but I just struggle, I think, with what to say. I'm too much in my head because I'm like, okay, if I say this, do they think I'm doing this? And then if I say this, does it seem like, oh, not enough? Like, I don't know.
Okay. So what I just said is basically in that document, practiced over and over. So really what this comes down to is we need to totally switch the pitch, and it's all about mindset, which is kind of what I suspected when I got on the call, to be honest with you. So you said something else too. You said, how am I going to ask somebody to take product when they've never had product themselves? I asked 3 people to take products before the third person. I had actually tried the product, but I only had it for like 1 day. And I asked 3 people and signed up 3 people. 2 of them, I did not have the product. 1 of them, I had tasted the product, and that's all I had. Then 2 weeks into it, into actually taking the product, 2 to 3 weeks, I signed my 4th and 5th. So I definitely did not have a story, and I went out and signed them anyway. All 5 of them started growing the business. All 5 of them shared, sorry. No, that's not true. The first one did not share the business. 4 of them shared the business, but 3 of them did it right away. 1 of them did it in her 4th month. Okay. But 3 of them ran out of the gates and just started sharing. What this amounts to is the confidence issue. So number 1, why do you have to have somebody take the products before they can tell their friends about a gut health product that they found, that the testimonials are incredible and have helped people in a huge number of ways? And they should really look at it. Why do you have to have the products to do that?
You don't.
I mean, you don't know, but always get. I guess I haven't asked that a lot. And Amy was like my one that was like, yeah, sure, we're going to do a competition at work. She was just, but I just never ask anybody before they've gotten their products. I probably might need to start doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Which we talked about this weekend.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Annie, you've been super quiet. How do you feel about this?
Well, I never get to that either in my first conversation.
Okay.
I mean, I just now have some that are kind of feeling like they can finally have something to say. But it hasn't gone more to, like, I have one lady that she signed 2 of her kids, but she doesn't want to post on Facebook because she doesn't want to do any extra work, and she doesn't want me to help her do any of the extra work.
That's fine. You're going to find people like that. Not everybody's going to want to do it. But in general, you're not asking anybody through that process when they get signed up if they want to share and use the referral link, right?
I probably haven't done that since before we had this changeover. Like,
Okay.
you know, I used to ask people in the beginning when we were brand ambassadors, and enough people said no, and that it just didn't ever feel like it was flowing right.
Why do you guys think that I was able to get my first 4 people to share? And quite frankly, I still get, like, this girl that I just mentioned that I signed in February and was total stranger to me and is doing business. Why do you think that I'm able to do that?
Because of your belief and passion.
And your confidence, for sure.
Yes, because
You're
Gwen,
confident in
you
what
have a lot of passion about Plexus, don't you think? Hannah, you have a lot of passion about Plexus, don't you?
Yeah.
Ashley, Annie, you cannot, not one of you does not have passion about Plexus, right? You're all super passionate about Plexus. The answer is the confidence. That is the only reason. You and I, we are the same people. We are the same people. We all know the language. I wrote it out in the document, exactly how to say, what to say, et cetera, et cetera. You can practice that all day long and, you know, mix it up to meet your language. But if you can't figure out how to have that confidence, no, I don't even want to say it that way. I want to go back to the part where I'm saying, so basically the only difference between you and me is practicing that language and then showing up and believing in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
We are exactly the same people. If I can believe in myself, y'all can believe in yourselves. In Annie, I would say in your case, I probably know the least about you in terms of like your history in work or motherhood. I don't even know how long you've been a stay-at-home mom. So I'm going to skip over to like Hannah, Gwen, Ashley. Ashley, you run your own business. Hannah, you have a decent job as a nurse. You had to get through school. You had to have some smarts. Gwen, you are a sought after hairstylist that is sought after. People drive hours to come and get you to get your haircut, right? Are you guys confident in that?
Mhm.
Ashley, are you confident when you show up in the work? You're confident. Do you get somebody who walks into your tire shop and they ask you a certain question and you just go like this? Blah, 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 or do you know what to say to them?
I know what to say to them most of the
You know
time.
what to say. And how about you, Hannah, when you're going in for a nurse?
Yeah, I know what to say. I know what to do.
Okay. My point here is none of you, Hannah, you have not been doing this as long as you're nursing. Annie, short term a little bit, but Gwen, you've been in here for several years. Ashley, you've been in here almost since the beginning. And even for the people who have been in here a short term, what you do every day, managing 4 children in a home, owning a daytime business, being a nurse, being a hairstylist, that takes a lot of freaking crap. It takes smarts, it takes talent, it takes perseverance. If you can get through that, you absolutely must know that you have the intellect to master a section of language that's like a small paragraph in order to talk to people about it, right? The ability to do that is there. What is it underneath the ability, which you all are very capable of practicing and learning, that holds you back from doing that?
I would
What
say
is
it's
it
the
you're
fear
afraid
of it's the fear of being told no all the time, so that I'm just not gonna,
Okay,
and especially when you have goals to hit,
okay,
you're just, "Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, well,"
okay.
and like rejection. I mean, it's kind of rejection when they say no. They
Yep.
don't do this with you.
Awesome. Awesome. Guess what? The less you learn this paragraph and the less you learn to just own everything you're doing with all of your heart, the more no's you're going to get. The more no's, the more crappy feeling, the more rejection, the deeper you're going to go into your head about, I can't make this work and how am I going to get to the next level? Because duplication is a part of getting to the next level in this business. That's all there is to it. And so if your fear is that disgusting no, that should be your fuel to master and the language and to show up and perform the process like a boss. The faster you can wake up tomorrow morning and go, I show up at my nursing station and I'm a boss. Nobody tells me what to do. Nobody calls me out on crap. And if they do, I'm ready to defend myself, but I'm also open-minded enough to know if I made a mistake, that's fine. And I'm not going to I'm not going to like run to the bathroom, cry my eyes out, quit my job and go home if I figured I did something wrong. There's no way that's going to happen for you, Hannah. Same thing with all the rest of you and your jobs. You're not going to have a meltdown and leave everything you're doing because you made a mistake. That is the same exact person that you need to bring to this business. That same exact person where you show up, you know what you're doing, you follow through with the process, and when you make a mistake or get a no, moving on.
Yeah.
Because every single one of you goes through somebody in your day who rejects you in some way, shape, or form, right? Your kids get pissed at you. They don't like what you're telling them to do. They sass back at you. Ashley, you have customers. Hannah, you have patients. Gwen, you have a boss that I know can probably get up your butt every now and again, right? Does that help to put it in
Clients
that,
sometimes do.
does that help to put it in that context for you
Yeah.
guys to see the idea of taking that persona that you are during the day and bringing it here Or is there still another like, yeah, but that's not the same thing?
No, I think it makes more sense. Yeah. Like, I agree with that.
Gwen?
I de
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking about, it kind of depends on the person when I'm sharing the business, because when they can say if they can't really afford it or that's an objection, I'll go more towards earning the products to cover the cost for them versus going towards making money. Now, if it's somebody that money drives them, then I'll go for the incentives, the bonuses, and stuff like that.
Yeah. And that's fine. You're just reading people.
It depends on them. Yeah.
So what I have really covered tonight is really giving you guys have to give yourselves some thought about transferring that confidence level from what you're doing from what you do everywhere else in your life to what you do here at Plexus, and not walking into this business and leaving that at the door. You bring that with you. You own yourself in every other situation in your life, as a mom, as an employee, as a boss babe in another situation, as you know, a, a parent of a kid who's at a sporting event. Like, you're going to stand up for your kid. There's so many situations in your lives, you guys, that are not all like old hat to you. Some of them are new situations that you guys walk into and you own it like a boss. And then you come into this business and you leave that hat at the door. Put that hat back on. Realize that what you are doing in this business is rare. I think that's where there's a disconnect. It's like, instead of instead of focusing on the rare quality of being able to offer somebody the ability to make $400, $500, $1,000, $2,000, much more than that, it's putting on the hat of, oh my gosh, they're going to think that I'm being pushy and that I'm trying to make money off of them, and all of the other things that you're bringing on with you to the doorstep of your person. And then they're saying no to you and you're being confused as to why you can't get anywhere. But people are going to read your insecurity and actually you're more likely to get them to think, oh, she's trying to make me an ambassador. Oh, she's trying to make me just push people into what she's doing. Oh, she's trying to push people at me, get me to push people at her, because you're already thinking that, and it sets a tone in your energy and how you show up and your language. But if you walk into this and own it as much as you own everything else in your life, you're already successful in everything else in your life. You will be successful here. Just bring the right hat each time that you show up. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yes.
I would really recommend you guys start listening to your self-development videos too. I started working with Gwen's level 1, and then I'll let you guys get going here, but I started working with Gwen's level 1 and a couple months ago, and one of the things I made her do was listen to 20 minutes of self-development every day for 30 days. And she is absolutely blown away, and her growth since, I guess this was probably the end of January, is just humongous, you guys. The stuff that she's stepping into that she was scared to death of a couple months ago is humongous. And she just messaged me this morning and she said, I had no idea self-development was this empowering. That's the best thing you've told me. That's where you're going to gain your confidence. That's where you're going to be able to really get a better grip on going after what you desire in your life without worrying about everybody else's judgment. So incorporate that into your day. And I already dropped podcasters into the leader chats. You can go back and look at that too. I do want to address really quickly to the going back to, I can't tell somebody to share if they haven't had the product. Oftentimes that is just really more related to, again, that insecurity that you're trying to push them into you making money because you're doing it so fast. They haven't even they're just ordering products for themselves. Why would I be telling them to share with other people? Blah, blah, blah. But really, you're leaving off the half of it. That is, we don't just have a product, we have an opportunity. We don't want to let budget get in the way of them feeling good and quitting on the products because we have an opportunity in a referral link. And we have the full knowledge that they know everybody in their network needs the products. So everything around being hesitant about that is really a hesitancy on your part out of that fear of judgment, as Hannah as beautifully shared with us, which I appreciate your honesty and openness, Hannah, because that's how most people are feeling. But again, it's coming to the table from the moment you work with somebody and you're just saying, hey, we've got so much goodness here. We've got so much goodness here. If you speak that into people, they're going to feel it. If you say, you know, by the way, you got a referral link, and I don't know if you've thought about it with a few friends or anything, but you could share, we have a messenger event on Thursdays. You just drop people in there. It's really great. Do you know anybody? That is so easy to say no to. It's so easy to say no. When you up that energy level, when you up the excitement, when you up the confidence, oh my gosh, you totally want to use your referral link because our company's reward system is insane. The free product you can get or cash back, so you can just pay for your products totally free. We have so many people on our team that never pay for the product. Wouldn't that be amazing? And I can make it so easy for you. Nothing I just said was complicated. Am I right? Absolutely not complicated. It's not a matter of complicated. It's a matter of confidence. Does that help you guys? I feel like I failed on this call.
Don't say that.
Yeah, no, I think it's,
You did not.
yeah.
I got
Mhm.
notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really think it comes down to those two things. It's memorizing the passage of how you're going to share with people, which, by the way, you guys, I repeat this stuff all the time. I've done it since I was in real estate sales in my 20s. I'd be driving to meet a client. I'd literally have a full conversation with my client while I was in the car before I met my client. I still do that kind of thing all the time, just practicing how to say something, how to say something, how to say something, so that by the time I get to the client, boom, 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 I'm a boss. It doesn't have to take a lot of time out of your day because you're all in your car driving at some point anyway. You're in the bathroom taking a shower. That was another place I used to practice. I don't know, do your dishes and practice talking to your plates like they are your customer. The more you do this, the better you will be, the less no's you'll get, the more success you'll have, the higher you'll climb with your rank, and the more your team will climb. Hannah, I'm going to ask you this one question and we'll let you go. If you look at Joanna's team and all of the duplication, hopefully you see it. You guys see the duplication going on the
Mhm.
Dream Big page, right? And you visualize
Mhm.
yourself trying to rank advance only by constantly signing level ones. And while you're signing more level ones, the other level ones are going bye-bye because either you don't have enough time to keep up with them or they can't afford the products. And so they shut off. And now you're signing more level ones and you're trying to climb to this next rank advance, right?
Mhm.
When you think about
Oh, I
growing,
know it's not sustainable.
yeah,
It's
when you
not
think about growing
sustainable.
like that, and you think about what you see on Joanna's team page, which one sounds more fun?
Joanna's team page, but sometimes I'm like, where are all these people coming from? I'm just being honest.
You know where those
I'm like,
people are
where
coming
all these-
from?
Ugh,
You know where those people
from
are
her
coming
team.
from?
I know.
They're coming
From her
from
team.
3.5 years ago. Joanna was you. That is facts. And Ashley can back me up on it. Joanna was you. She signed like a boss. She hated duplication. She hated leadership. She still hates leadership to some degree because she just came to me 3 weeks ago and asked if I would start teaching her team because that's where I'm good at it, the teaching part.
Yeah.
And she had the highest PV in this company for years because she hated duplication. Joanna Slavin is a duplication boss. You know why? She made a decision. I'm not doing this anymore. I want that. I want diamond. And so she figured it out.
Mhm.
She started practicing it.
Yeah.
She found her confidence. She found her rhythm. But what you see right now is the result of 3 years of developing the process. The process was there, but developing it
Yeah.
in the sense that she mastered it. She kept practicing. She kept asking. She kept going back and back and back and back and back. That's what it is. And the faster you dive into that alongside of confidence, the faster you're going to get where you're going. And it's like the nails on a chalkboard. When you're in the mode that you're in right now and you want to like pull back because the rejection sucks and you just don't have it mastered yet, the growth is so slow. It's like nails on a chalkboard. But if you say, I'm done, I'm owning who I am, I'm owning what I'm doing, I'm showing up like a boss the same way I do in all other areas of my life, I'm super smart and I'm super successful everywhere else, which every one of you are, I'm going to do the same damn thing here. I'm going to show up with that same person. I'm going to show up with the same hat. That's when you will start your trek to where Joanna is going. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, you guys. Did that help you? Sometimes I feel like I say these
I've been
things, but I
in
feel like
Hannah's
it's
shoes
just
before.
what?
I said, I've been in Hannah's shoes before, feeling that way. And isn't it on average, it's 7 touchbacks, like 7 no's to get to a yes?